On the evening of September 12, 1952, the small town of Flatwoods, West Virginia became the scene of an encounter fit for a horror film. After 3 local boys saw a glowing red, pear-shaped object fly across the sky and appear to touch down on a nearby farm, they gathered a group of friends to go and investigate the landing site. There, the group found a strange, glowing craft and a tall, frightening entity that would go down in UFO history as the Monster of Flatwoods. Brothers Fred and Edward May, aged 12 and 13 respectively, and their friend Tommy Heyer, aged 10, were playing football on the Flatwood school playground when they first caught sight of the glowing red object. They watched it as it flew over their heads and stopped in the air before descending on the nearby farm of a G. Bailey Fisher. The May boys ran to their mother, Kathleen May, and recounted their observation. Mrs. May decided that she had better look into their claim, so she took the 3 boys and 3 others, aged 10, 14, and 17, for a walk over to Fisher's farm. 17-year-old Eugene Lemon, a West Virginia National Guardsman, led the group with the help of his dog. Their journey took them up a steep hill and into a wooded area. As they approached their destination, the dog ran ahead of the group and disappeared from view. They heard it bark a few times before it came running back moments later with its tail between its legs. When the group finally reached the top of the hill, they saw a large ball of fiery red light about 15 meters to their right. The ball was over 6 meters wide, and the entire thing was pulsating between a cherry red and a pale orange color. Soon after spotting the object, the group noticed traces of a pungent mist in the air that smelled of molten metal and burned their eyes and noses. At this point, Lemon noticed what he thought were the eyes of a raccoon sitting in a tree to the left of the object. It was getting dark, so he shone a flashlight in their direction. What he saw then was unlike anything he had ever encountered. In the beam of the flashlight stood a 10-foot monster with large glowing eyes and a red face that seemed to be lit from behind. Its head was either shaped like an inverted heart, or else was surrounded by a heart-shaped headdress. Though witnesses disagreed on the appearance of the entity's body, Mrs. May believed that it was covered in a cloth-like material that draped down to the ground like a skirt. She also reported that the creature had short, skinny arms and claws on the ends of its fingers. As soon as the beam of the flashlight hit the creature, it began gliding in their direction. A pulsating, thumping sound came from inside the creature's body, and its face and body began to glow. It then emitted a shrill hissing noise and released a more concentrated form of the stinging gas detected earlier. The sighting lasted only a few seconds before the creature turned away from the group and drifted in the direction of the pulsating red light. It was enough time to drive Mrs. May and the boys into a hysterical state and send them running back down the hill and into the safety of their homes. Immediately upon returning home, Mrs. May phoned the sheriff's office and notified the local newspaper. The sheriff performed a cursory investigation that night, and a more thorough one the following day. While police found nothing to verify the presence of either the creature or the glowing red light, a reporter from the newspaper indicated that he had smelled a sickening odor at the scene of the encounter. He also obtained these remarkably coincident drawings, collected individually from the witnesses of the alleged monster. Colonel Dale Levitt from the United States Air Force also came to the scene of the encounter to conduct an official military investigation, but he revealed nothing to the public. While nothing the group had seen that night left any sure trace of its presence, something had undoubtedly provoked an extreme physiological response in the witnesses. Everyone exposed to the gas that night experienced nausea, irritation of the nasal cavity, and severe swelling in the throat. Lemon had multiple convulsions the night of the encounter and went into violent fits of vomiting. It was also reported that his dog died soon after the encounter. The doctor who treated many of the witnesses claimed that their symptoms were similar to those experienced by victims of mustard gas. Still, UFO debunkers have dismissed the case of the Flatwoods Monster as an unlikely confluence of misidentified and unrelated natural stimuli. The orb, they claim, was nothing but a meteor, while the monster was a simple barn owl perched on a tree branch. The witnesses had encountered a dense fog at the scene of the encounter, which they came to believe was a poisonous gas when their hysteria had caused them to feel nauseous. Nevertheless, the witnesses could not be shaken from their conviction that they had seen something truly unusual that night. What it was exactly, we may never know.